Hello, Soldotna Montessori families. It's Mr. Duvall with a video informational update from January 5th. And today was the day that the district notified all our families that they intend to have schools start on January 11th, a whole week earlier than the 19th, which for me is fantastic news. And I hope for you it is too. So I just wanted to follow up with you all and just kind of give you the Mr. Duvall perspective and take on this, and just prep us for this time where we get to come together again. So I have notes for myself, so I apologize for showing you the shiny part of my head, but I'm going to be looking down from time to time just to read the information that I feel is important to cover in this video. Firstly, I want to clarify that this is for our in-person learning families. Most of our families have chosen the in-person learning, although we've been forced to be apart. It's for those families to be able to return on the 11th. We do have families that are 100% remote by choice, and it may be confusing for them to think that they must return. And I want to say, rest assured, you can continue in your 100% remote with Mrs. Brenner or Mrs. Dixon in the days ahead. Also, we do our families who have already pre-enrolled or are already enrolled in our parent-led model may continue in that model. This is not a call that everyone must come back. It's just the opportunity for all of our in-person learning students to note that our school is now open. You can return on the 11th. If you are a family that is unsure about whether or not you want to return on the 11th, please contact the school, contact me, and we'll work you through what the options are. We do have our online enrollment change form. It's a Google form. It's only good for the 19th though. We didn't intend it for the 11th. So if there's something that you have a question about, please just contact the school, talk to me, and we'll work through the situation if necessary. So coming back, doors open. You may have forgotten. Doors open 8:45 for those families that need to drop them off right at the crack of when the doors open. 8:45 is when the doors open. 9:10 is when school starts. So some of you are like, I'm going to get them there as close to 9:10 as possible. Just know that we got that window 8:45 to 9:10 as arrival time, and then pick up 3:30 still. And just to remind you that you can pull in and park, and we will come around and find you. I may need a little help if your vehicles have changed, or just, it's been a while since we've done this. So please just, be looking for us when we come out and help us know that you're parked there. But also may come through the drive-through line. Really, we're just trying to keep our line from coming out and going out towards the light. So just a reminder on that. Also, coming back, just again, reminder that masks are going to be required for all students K through 6 at all times during this time while we're in red. And so that includes recess and PE. And so my encouragement to you is to have, a couple different masks with your students when they come in. One for outside, one for inside, because I've been outside welcoming in the morning, and I notice that I do get a little bit wet, and it makes it harder to use that mask. So we encourage two, one for in class, one for when they go outside, so that if they generate that wetness, they've got a dry mask to use when they come back in. We do have some families that have Chromebooks and had need for Chromebooks, and so we were able to get some for those families. And I just want to reiterate that you please keep those at home. If a student is sick or has to go home for one reason or another, at least you have the capability of connecting back up with the school. So please keep those, and no need to return those at this time. Just some notes from the district that they've installed what are called O2 Prime systems. I know very little about them. I just know that the intended purpose is to help with air purity through a filtration system, and so an air exchange system, I should say. And so those have been installed at the school and are operational for the building. And then also the custodians have received their electrostatic sprayers to help with increased sanitation when they're doing their cleaning at night. So those items that have been on the radar are now in place and able to be used with our students returning. And this is a reminder that the district's implementing a new approach to how they're contact tracing. And the effort there is to allow for us to not have to shut down whole regions like we're currently doing. The whole Central Penn is shut down. They don't want to do that. And so what they're going to do is going to implement a new model of contact tracing that allows schools to stay open. And if there's an issue that arises, it's going to affect the cohort or the whole school, but it won't affect every school. And so it allows us to have some control over whether or not we're able to stay open, as long as we're making sure our mitigation is going strong and that our families are doing those temperature checks and making sure that we're symptom free before sending kids to school. And that allows us to make sure that our school is able to remain open or that we're not contact tracing students out. So that's good news. Let's see. Oh, busing. Just a note, if your student is riding a bus, please note that that is an area of contact tracing for our students, a potential place. They're going to make an effort to leave room between each seat, but it's not going to be the case on every route. And so it's possible that a student is going to be, we're going to sit, my understanding is they're going to sit one student to every seat at the very most. And if that happens, that there's a possibility for contact tracing to occur if in the event of a COVID case on the bus. So just note that they're making efforts to keep distance on there as best they can, but there may be times where that's not an option. And so there would be potentially some contact tracing in that regard when riding a bus. And with that, I think I've covered all the critical aspects, and I'm sure there are questions that you have that I didn't address, and I'm sorry if I didn't. But feel free to contact me, email me, call the school, let us know your questions so I can address them, because if you have them, other people may have them as well, and it'd be good if I could communicate that information in future video messages. But I want to say it's a new year. We have new possibilities, which is really great. And I know we're all ready for normal, and we're just not quite there yet. And so, take that big breath. Understand that this is an opportunity for good things. We're glad the kids are coming back, but we're just not out of the woods just yet. And but I'm happy to know that we're moving forward in a positive direction, and I feel like we'll be able to feel like it's normal, even though we got masks on. It'll just be good to have kids back, and I know they're thrilled and they're excited, and I know that will help with some normalcy of routine for you at home. And so again, looking forward to the 11th and so excited. And with that, I wish you well, and I can't wait for January 11th. Have a good evening.